All right. As we started yesterday, this social business track with data, we wanted to start today with some perspective by people that do have as a job to give some perspective to companies, to brands. I'm talking about McKinsey company, and I have Eric Hazan, who will do a presentation, his partner as McKinsey. He will do a presentation on social and especially on how social technologies will allow to have next generation organization. So I will now call on stage Eric Hazan.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Eric Hazan. I'm a partner with McKinsey in Paris, and I'm a leader of our digital spatial initiative. I'm thrilled to be here today because I'm going to present our latest thinking on social media and social technology. But this time we're not going to talk about the impact of social media and social technology on marketing and sales issue, but more on another angle, the angle of the impact of social technology in the internal organization of the companies. So let's start with some striking facts about social technologies, and let's go in a second move to the impact of social technology on the organization and on the bigger companies. 38 years, more or less the number of years that it took to the radio to reach 50 million users, 9 months for Twitter. More interesting, 70% of big companies say that they're using right now social technologies in their current business. But 90% of them say that they could do much more and that the impact of social technology will be even greater in the next 10 years. In fact, thousands of companies now are using social technology to know more their consumer, gather some consumer insights, to engage with consumer, eventually to know what their consumers think or what they say. But we found that the impact of social technologies on company internally is much bigger. In fact, our report finds that the largest opportunity, the largest value creation opportunity, is in using social technology for collaboration and communication within the companies. And this impact, it's twice the size of when using social technology for engaging with consumer. We estimate that the value that could be unlocked by social technology in 4 key sectors only in the US is $1 trillion. 4 key sectors only in the US. So let's have a closer look about how best leverage social technology for companies. First, we will look at why social media matters for companies from the brick and mortar sector, how social technologies can create value in their organization, and how all this will impact the way they are organized and their work practices for next generation organizations. So, apart from number of users and explosion of social media marketing, why social media matter? First, impact on customer perception is huge. People are voicing and likely retaliating socially online. If you look at the proportion of people that are providing feedback after bad experience online compared to offline, there is a big difference, and it is mainly on C2C platforms. More and more, social becomes increasingly a driver for purchase in the consumer decision journey. If you look at this counterintuitive category like insurance, 8% of internet users use social media as an input to purchase. And this has increased by 21% in the last year. There is also a generation gap. People on all product categories which have less than 30 years old makes it even truer. So, social technology are bound to transform company relationship with their customer, but we ask ourselves, how is it transforming their organization? Is it transforming them as well? First, what are we talking about? So we consider that social technology is not only about social network. This is basically all the technologies that enable free digital interactions inside the enterprise, from social networks to file sharing, crowdsourcing, shared workspaces, etc. So how do social technology create value within companies? We have identified 10 value levers. So let's spend a bit of time on this one. On the left, you have all the levers that have having impacts on the organizational functions of the enterprise. How to co-create products, how to leverage social buzz to increase accuracy in production workload forecasting, etc., etc. On the right side of the slides, you have levers that apply across the entire enterprise. That would be increasing collaboration, obviously, but also better talent matching and skill level transparency within the companies. In fact, 2/3 of the potential value created by social technology within companies will come from better communication and better collaboration. If you take what we call interaction workers, knowledge workers, white collars in general, basically their productivity could be improved by 20 to 25%. Actually, the more interaction workers you have in your company, the biggest you will have impact with the productivity of social technology. So much more important for professional services and consumer products than, for example, other sectors. In the 4 industries that we have analyzed, we've analyzed in the US consumer goods, finance, professional services, and manufacturing. The estimated total value could be up to $1 trillion. Let's see some examples, practical examples of advanced practices. One example on prediction and production workloads. Intel, the largest chipset manufacturer, wanted to improve its business forecasting process. They managed to improve it by 20%, the accuracy of their sales forecast, by creating prediction markets through internal social networks. Other examples. Blue Wolf. Blue Wolf is an IT outsourcing company. They wanted to encourage their people to share knowledge and to collaborate, etc. They trained them on a social-based platform. They created social profile pages, they identifying team memberships, areas of functional and vertical expertise, client services, etc. And to build engagement, they added game component to the tool. In the first 4 months, they increased collaboration by 57%. Third example, consumer goods, Kraft Food. They decided to launch a new line of diet food. So they invited opinion leaders on nutrition and health, consumers on an online community. They talked, they shared their experience, and they allowed people to build on each other's ideas. Kraft looked at what they were saying, and by watching this conversation, they discovered key insight for new product creation. As a result, the whole product line, 48 products, was developed in 16 months, which is, in fact, a much shorter development cycle than traditional development cycles they have. Twice as quick, actually. So, other thing. A growing number of organizations have begun experimenting the opening up of the strategic process with social technology. So look at what 3M did. Before, basically, as many big companies, they were using a small number of analysts to develop their strategy internally. And these analysts were looking at megatrends or markets of the future. 3M invited its sales, marketing, R&D employees to a web-based forum called Innovation Live. In 2 weeks, they attracted 1,200 people over 40 countries. It generated 700 new ideas, 9 new future markets, 10 billion aggregated revenue potential. So, it seems that social technologies can have a big impact on organizations, on big organizations and big companies. But in fact, to capture the potential value available, it will be also a challenge. Social technology do not always bring benefits, and there are multiple barriers. Technology, infrastructure, usage, human factor. More importantly, they will have to completely transform their organization. They will move from a centralized, top-down, hierarchical organization to a decentralized, bottom-up, evolutionary, flat, and flexible structure. People will bypass hierarchy. Skill levels will be more transparent. All this will bring both opportunities and risk for company. If they will manage to benefit fully from this cultural change is still a question. What is sure is that for both companies and employees, those will know how to use this technology for making their work more productive will be performing much better. Thank you for your attention.